Hey audio students, this is Rajiv. I just wanted to talk about how to create a Pro Tools session very quickly. I know we talked about this in previous classes, but I thought I might create a video for you just so you can refer to it at a different time. So the first thing that you want to do is hit File, Create New. A lot of times when you already open up Pro Tools, this would already pop up. So you may not have to do this step, but just in case, that's the first thing that you want to do. And then you want to go ahead and name your session. So the naming scheme is going to be on the syllabus. So you want to go to the VO project, narration project, and you want to look at how you should name your actual session. So I'm going to go ahead and name my session. And then you want to make sure that it's triggered to local storage. That means the session is going to save onto your R drive. Basically, that's either internal or external to your computer, however way you set it up. And then for the file type, you want to keep it at WAV. And then you want your sample rate to be at 48 and your bit depth to be at 24. And then your I/O settings should be at stereo mix. This is basically the input and output settings in your Pro Tools. So all the routing is just at a default setting. And then you want to click interleaved. This just makes it easier for you to work with stereo files within your track or your session. And then you want to make sure that you hit prompt for location. This will allow you to, when you hit the create button, it's going to ask you where do you want to save your session. So for example, on this one, I want to go ahead and just save it onto the desktop and hit save here. So let's just go to the desktop. I'm going to delete this one. It's from a previous session that I did. Okay, so I'm going to name my session Rajiv underscore VO narration and then hit save. Oops, okay, let's just call it VO narration 1. I think that was just a little error because I already had a previous session called VO narration. Okay, cool. So a blank session opens up. So before we get into Pro Tools, the first thing that I want to do is show you about this session folder. So anytime you create a Pro Tools session, Pro Tools automatically creates a folder for you. And so within the folder, you can have several files. You have your audio files, which is basically for any audio that you import, it's going to pop up over here. For every time you export your session or your project, is going to pop up over here, right? You have your actual session over here. If you ever do a project that requires video and you can import video in Pro Tools, the video will be stored in this folder. And then every time you save a session, it's going to go to your session file backups. So this is a very important folder. You don't want to lose touch of where this folder is. So you always want to keep an eye on this one. And then when you submit your project, you want to submit your entire folder, right? So that's kind of how I'm able to open up your project from home so I can kind of see what you did there. And a couple of other things. So within Pro Tools, the first thing that you want to do is create a master fader track. So if you hit track, hit new, you want to click from audio track, you want to go to master fader, and then you want to hit stereo. So a couple of things about the master fader track is very important. If you have 10 tracks in Pro Tools, all your 10 tracks will go back to your master fader track, right? So anytime you put an effect on your master fader track, it's going to apply to the entire song. And then the most important thing is your meters over here. So your master fader track shows you the volume of all 10 tracks combined into 1 meter, which is very important because this will show you how loud your overall project is and if you're distorting your overall project, which you don't want to do, right? So it's very important that you create a master fader track first, and then when you're ready to import any audio tracks, you can go ahead and do so in Pro Tools. There's another video about importing audio tracks on iLearn that you can check out, so I won't go through that in this video. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out.